Hi everybody, this is Ryan, and I'm here for another video. This time we're going to talk about measurement. So U.S. units of measurement talk about length, weight, and capacity. So when we think about length, length is the distance from one end of an object to the other end, or from one object to another. So if I have a house here, no, let's not do a house. That wouldn't be a good example. Let's just do a line. If I do a line, so the length is from point A to point B. That's the length. The system of measuring length in the United States is based on 4 customary units of length: inch, foot, yard, and mile. Here are some common conversion factors. You should all know that 1 foot equals 12 inches, 1 yard is 3 feet, and 1 mile is 5,280 feet. We'll talk about these conversions here in a little bit. So let's talk about conversion factors a little bit. Conversion factors are special numbers or ratios that help you convert between units of measure. When you have measurements in different units and need to solve problems involving them, you can convert the measures to a single unit. That's important. Single unit. When you're working with these, you gotta have a single unit using conversion factors. This helps you compare or combine the measurements easily. Think about whether the unit you are converting it to is a smaller or larger than the unit you're converting from. So when we think about conversion factors, these are conversion factors, and you can write the fraction either way: 12 inches over 1 foot, or 1 foot over 12 inches. These are the same. These are equal. They're just different units. 3 feet is 1 yard, or 1 yard is 3 feet. So we'll use those in a little bit. Say weight. How heavy or light an object is. Weight is measured in U.S. customary system using 3 units: ounces, pounds, and tons. So here is your unit equivalent. 1 pound is 16 ounces. 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. Here are your conversions: 16 to 1 or 2,000 to 1. 2,000 pounds to 1 ton, or 1 ton to 2,000 pounds. You can flip these fractions around any way you please. Capacity. Capacity is the amount of liquid or other pourable substances that an object can hold when full. There are 5 main units of measure capacity in the United States customary measurement system: fluid ounces, cup, pint, quart, and gallon. Here is your conversion factor. So 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. 1 pint is 2 cups. 1 quart is 2 pints. 1 quart is 4 cups. 1 gallon is 4 quarts, and 1 gallon is 16 cups. And here's your same ratios, and notice how you can convert either way. One's from heavier to lighter, and the other one's from lighter to heavier. So let's try this. Let's convert 500 feet to miles. So we're gonna go 500 feet to miles. So we're gonna start with 500 feet, and we're gonna put that over 1. And we want to convert to miles, so we want the feet to cancel off. So we're going to put 1 mile on top over 5,280 feet. And notice what happens here is that your feet cancel off. And then you have to divide those two. So if you take 5,000 divided by 5,280, that'll give you how many miles you have. And notice how we're talking 5,000, so you know you're going to be less than 1 mile. So you'll have 0.95 miles. Okay, let's convert 16 gallons to a quart. So let's start with 16 gallons over 1. And we want to go to quarts, so we're going to make the gallons cross off. That means since the gallons are on top, or in the denominator here, to make them cross off, they have to be in the denominator on the other fraction. So 1 gallon is down here for 4 quarts. So now notice what happens is your gallons cancel. So 16 times 4 is 64 quarts. Hope this is making sense to you. So that's how you use your conversion factors. These are some good examples for you to look at later on. Systems and scales of measurement. The metric system, Fahrenheit and Celsius. Okay. A metric system uses base units meter, liter, gram to measure length, liquid volume, and mass. The metric system is based on tens, meaning that within the system get larger or smaller by powers of 10. So here is your conversion between metric and customary units. So 1 centimeter is a little less than half an inch. 1.6 kilometers is 1 mile. 1 meter is about 3 inches longer than 1 yard. 1 kilogram is a little more than 2 pounds. 28 grams is about the same as an ounce. 1 liter is a little more than 1 quart. 4 liters is a little more than 1 gallon. So let's talk about prefixes. The metric system is a base 10 system. This means that each successive unit is 10 times larger than the previous one. The names of metric units are formed by adding the prefixes kilo, hecto, deca, deci, centi, and milli to the base unit measurement, either a meter, liter, or gram. So we would do kilometer or centigram. Okay. To tell how large or small a unit is, look at the prefix. To tell whether the unit is measuring length, mass, volume, look at the base. So here's an example. So here's the base unit, which is either a meter, a gram, or a liter. If you want to go 10 times larger, which means it's bigger, you multiply 10 times, it's going to be deca. Multiplied by another 10 times, that's going to be hecto. Then another 10 times will be kilo. So it's 10 times 10 times 10. So over here, you're going to divide by 10, or it's getting smaller. Divide by 10, divide by 10. So you'll get, if you divide a meter by 10, or into 10 pieces, you get a decimeter. You divide a decimeter by 10 pieces, you'll get a centimeter. So here's your conversions for measuring mass. 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams, because kilo means 1,000. So a kilo is 1,000 grams. Hecto is 100 grams. A deca is 10 grams. So that's your conversions. Measuring distance. 1 meter is 1 million micrometers. 1 meter is 10 decimeters. So you might want to remember these conversions. It kind of helps. These are your base units. Okay, so converting units in the metric system. To solve real-world conversion problems, the first step is to understand the context and using clues from the problem to determine the appropriate conversions. When performing calculations with mixed units in the metric system, we must make sure to add or subtract like units. By applying what you know about decimals to the metric system, converting among units is simple as moving decimal points. You can also use the factor label method to convert metric measures. So let's convert 5,000 milligrams to grams. So we're going to go 5,000 milligrams over 1. How many? Then we want it to be grams, so we want to have 1 gram on top. So how many milligrams is in 1 gram? So let's go back to our table. So milligram there's 1,000 milligrams in 1 gram. So you divide by 1,000. So these cancel off. So if you divide those off, so you get 5 grams. A car travels 1,000 kilometers. Convert this to meters. So 1,000 km over 1. And we want km on the bottom. We want to cancel off in meters. So how many meters are in 1 kilometer? 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So it's right here. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So you're going to have 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So you multiply 1,000 times 100, and that gives you how many meters you have. So you take 1,000 times 100, and you get 100,000 meters, because these cancel off. Okay, conversions between U.S. and metric systems. Let's talk about that a little bit. So 3.28 feet is approximately 1 meter. 2.54 centimeters is approximately 1 inch. 2.2 pounds is approximately 1 kilometer. And 3.785 liters is approximately 1 gallon. Let's talk about Celsius and Fahrenheit temperature conversions. These are your two formulas. If the temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, what is the equivalent temperature in Fahrenheit? So since we want to know Fahrenheit, we want to use this formula right here. So we're going to do Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times your Celsius, which is 30, plus 32. So we're going to make this over 1. We're going to take the 5 and cancel with 30 and leave a 6. So it equals 54 plus 32, or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So it would be this answer right here. So you have to plug in the formulas. Dimensional analysis of rates. A ratio compares two quantities or measures. It can be written as A to B, A colon B, or A divided by B. A rate is a special ratio that compares measurements with different units, like miles per hour. So miles per hour is a rate because it's written as 1 mile over 1 hour. It's a rate. Proportion is an equation showing the equivalence of two rates or ratios. A conversion factor is a ratio expressing how many of one unit are equal to another unit. Okay, so let's convert 60 miles per hour to feet per second. So 60 miles per hour, so let's do that. 60 miles over 1 hour. Let's convert that to feet per second. So let's figure out how to do this. So we're going to go feet per second. So we need to convert miles to feet. So there's 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Notice our miles are on the bottom, so they cancel out. Then we want to go to seconds, so we're going to take hours. We want to put those on top, so we have hours over seconds, and we know that in 1 hour there are 3,600 seconds. So we know it's important that the hours are on top, so they cancel the hours here. So these all cancel. So I got 60 times 5,280 divided by 3,600. So I get 88 feet per second. Okay. Let's do one more. A pump is filling a tank at a rate of 500 gallons per minute. Convert this rate to liters per second. So let's talk about this. Since we got 500 gallons over 1 minute, we want to convert this to seconds, to liters per second. So let's take care of the seconds part first. So we're going to do minutes on top, seconds on the bottom. In 1 minute, there's 60 seconds. So now notice how the minutes will cancel. And let's do your gallons. So we want our gallons to cancel, so they're going to go on bottom. And our liters will go on top. And in 1 gallon there is 3.78541 liters. So notice how your gallons will cancel. So I take 5,000 times 3.78541 and divide that by 60. So I'm going to end up with 3,154.51 liters per second. So, hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you have questions, please let me know.